cancelled
All
or
right,
reversed.
stay with me, Ananya. We're getting in more breaking inputs. Remember, this is not the first time Sengar has received relief. He got an interim suspension of sentence for around 2 weeks. This was a year ago. Sengar back then had in fact cited medical grounds, 8 ailments cited, including anxiety, cataract, diabetes. And there was a complaint to the CBI that a large number of individuals were also visiting the patient when he was admitted in AIIMS. They said that a high volume of visitors were compromising the medical care and impacting the routine operations of the hospital functioning. The victim opposed the interim bail, saying Sengar does not maintain discipline while on bail. So victim opposed this interim bail, saying Sengar cannot determine when he will take the treatment for a particular medical condition. Let's quickly take this forward with Aman. Aman, so even now, the victim has stepped out and shared her fears that there's no guarantee that a second time around also he will, on bail, he will be roaming around scot-free and perhaps even ensure that his wife is fighting elections on his behalf in the upcoming Uttar Pradesh elections.
Well, Akanksha, yes, this relief which has come to Sengar is not the first. What his legal team of the victim is now telling me that there is a history to this. Last year, Mr. Sengar had got a 2-week interim bail from the High Court because he cited a number of ailments, and none of these ailments were really serious. Ailments like anxiety, ailments like diabetes, ailments like old age spine disease, which was also said a regenerative, and also a cataract surgery, which he cited he wanted interim bail for. But what happened once he got this interim bail was that he was admitted to a private ward of AIIMS, where the AIIMS had to write a letter to the CBI director saying there was a huge crowd of people which was coming to meet Mr. Kuldeep Singh Sengar daily in his private ward. It was affecting hospital functioning, it was affecting proper treatment, and this complaint went up to no less than the CBI director. Also, the victims stoutly opposed these interim bails because the legal team of the victim said that Mr. Sengar is not following any discipline when he comes out on interim bail. In fact, he's flouting conditions. They also said that Sengar cannot determine when he will have his cataract surgery and when or not. So I think there has been a history to these reliefs which has come to the way of Mr. Kuldeep Singh Sengar, and that is why we are seeing even now the victim family is saying that this particular suspension of sentence of Mr. Kuldeep Singh Sengar is totally a miscarriage of justice. Yes, he's still in jail because in the second case, the custodial death of the victim's father, he has still got no relief. But in this particular case, the major section 5C of the POCSO Act has been, taken away by the court totally, a section on the basis of which he was convicted by the trial court and got a life sentence. Now he's only, guilty of a provision which has maximum 7-year sentence, and he's been he has been set free in this particular case because he's already served more than 7 years in jail. So I think it's a very complex matrix where Mr. Sengar is trying to maybe, the Bahubali image he had in UP, and that is why the victim is crying foul that her life may be in danger if Mr. Sengar in any way or any instance comes out of jail and is a free man.
As far as this entire complex matrix, whether political or legal is concerned, going to also take a word from Ananya on how POCSO was excluded. Ananya, what are the hopes now from the Supreme Court, given that POCSO has been excluded from 5C?
Well, the Supreme Court can definitely reverse any kind of order. It has that particular power with it. It holds, in fact, a jurisdiction which is much higher than that of a high court. And a criminal appeal, if it's filed, especially petition, it is filed before the Supreme Court, then the Supreme Court has full powers to actually review this particular judgment and reverse this particular judgment. Though we shall understand that at this particular point of time, it is a non-redundant judgment because it won't affect any kind of Kuldeep Singh Sengar because he will not be coming out as far as things are concerned. And to get another interim bail, he could cite this order as a parity, but how much of it would be considered by the High Court is something that we have to wait and watch for. But definitely, this is an order that would be challenged before the Supreme Court, and that has been clarified by both the mother, the victim, and also, in fact, by Yogita herself. So very clearly, at this juncture, all eyes of the victim's family and of everybody who's criticizing this judgment, who's critical of this judgment, is on the Supreme Court as to what would the topmost court of the country would do. But that could only happen once the appeal in this particular case is filed. Akanksha.
All right, stay with me, Ananya. I want to quickly bring in Aman. Aman, on the statement that's coming from O.P. Rajbar, who's not only gone on to question what was the need for the victim to protest in the national capital. Moreover, he's also referred to Sengar as Sengar ji. Is this not becoming a case of privilege failing the people in the state of Uttar Pradesh?
Akanksha, see, if we go into the history of this case a bit a few years back, you also will realize that it took a lot of time for the BJP to sack him, Mr. Sengar. You know, there was a lot of to and fro on that. For a long time, the BJP did not let go of him. He was a BJP MLA from that particular seat in Unnao, but the BJP also could not sack him for a long while till, you know, the criticism became so much and Mr. Sengar was finally arrested. He also evaded the law for a time being, and, you know, for some time, finally, after he was arrested, the BJP had to sack him. So obviously, there are some backers of Mr. Sengar politically in the state of Uttar Pradesh. He is a powerful political personality there. He's been an MLA multiple times from there, from his seat in Unnao. So obviously, there is some backing. And that is what is the fear of the victim family as well. The victim family, in fact, Akanksha has moved out of UP. They are in Delhi now, and the case was also moved out of UP because of these apprehensions that there could be a lot of influence if this case is tried in UP, and the case was moved to Delhi by the CBI. So that all circumstances are very clear that Mr. Sengar does enjoy political clout, and that is what exactly the family is now complaining against, saying that if he steps out of jail, he will, Akanksha, the victim's father has been killed, victim's two aunts and a lawyer have died in a mysterious accident earlier. So there is a lot of, talk about what has really happened in this case for all these years. And though Mr. Sengar has been convicted in 2 cases, not 1, but still he does enjoy political clout, and that is really the fear of the victim's family.
All right. Many thanks to you, Aman and Ananya, for sharing all those inputs and putting the story into perspective for us. On that note, let's also listen in to a host of voices from social activists to even legal experts and politicians. Everyone is speaking up on this case. Let's listen in to what they have to say.
Yogita, what is the plan ahead? It's a judgment that is coming from the Delhi High Court yesterday. First of all, how do you feel about this judgment? What are your initial reactions?
I feel disgusted. I feel ashamed that we are in this era where we are trying to say women empowerment, feminism and big talks on international platform. But this is a reality. A rapist, convicted rapist, gets bail, or you can say the punishment goes to, like only few years, and he's out. I mean, he'll be out soon, not in this case, but other cases are still on. But I'm sure the kind of sign I can see, he'll be out in no time, and he'll be repeating the same crime, might be. This is a very severe situation. We might say that justice prevail in this country, but unfortunately justice is delivered on the basis of power, money and all those bases. I don't think so we have justice in this country.
ये तो एक रूल नया बनाया जा रहा है, जैसे कि और जेल में है वो भी कहेंगे कि हमको फांसी की सजा हुई है तो उसको खत्म करके फिर सुनवाई की जाए। तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। पता न कौन से कोर्ट कहाँ से हो रहा है ऐसे, ये तो पहले बार ऐसा हो रहा है। तो 500 किलोमीटर दूर रहो या घर में रहो, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। फर्क ये पड़ता है कि आपने क्राइम किया है, आपको सजा मिली है। अपील करने का उनको हक है, या विक्टिम को भी हक है। तो कोर्ट को इस पे निष्पक्ष सुनवाई करनी चाहिए, विक्टिम को भी देखते हुए कि उसके साथ क्या हुआ है। बाकी बेल तो बिल्कुल नहीं होनी चाहिए।
ये क्षण है कि हम सबको सामूहिक माफी मांग लेनी चाहिए देश की बच्चियों से। बच्चियां, हम शर्मिंदा है। तुम्हारे कातिल, तुम्हारे रेपिस्ट बहुत रसूख वाले हैं। पूरा का पूरा गणतंत्र, इंडियन रिपब्लिक शुड अपोलोजाइज, कलेक्टिव अपॉलॉजी, दैट्स ऑल। इसके अलावा क्या कर सकते हैं?
सरकार को सुप्रीम कोर्ट में अपील किया जाना चाहिए और ऐसे जज को ऐसे संवेदनशील मैटर नहीं दिया जाना चाहिए। मुझे लगता है कि जातिवादी जज है और इतना बड़ा संगीन मैटर हो, वैसे भी बहुत सारे संगीन मैटर होते ही हैं, लेकिन ये बहुत हाईलाइटेड मैटर था। इस मैटर में अगर इस तरह से न्यायपालिका का फैसला है कि इतना बड़ा अपराधी, कितने लोगों का मर्डर करने वाला आदमी, उसका जो आजीवन कारावास, उसको सस्पेंड कर देना, ये गलत है। और सरकार को अपील करना चाहिए और इस आदमी को तो फांसी देना चाहिए।